So, when we talk about what this communication is, um, you'll hear it's not a teaching, it's not information that can be used. It's not, well, it's not a lot of things, and it's really not anything. I mean, it's paradoxical, but what it is a response to an illusion, essentially. It's a response to this experience of being a separate me, this experience, which isn't happening. It's not real. It's an illusion. So this communication, we could just say, is a response to something that isn't happening. It's a response to this illusion. It isn't happening, but it's showing up. Again, it's none of this can be made sense of, really. But that's what it is. And then the response is to, well, it's pointing to the fact that what is here is nothing, and trying to flesh out what it means. But it's also in a sense, trying to give support to what isn't that illusion, and maybe trying not to support the illusion. So in a sense, it's a response to the illusion, and then the response is to undermine the support of that for that illusion to some degree, in some way. I mean, pretty much everything around is supporting that illusion, of course. All communications, everything, just everything. It's 24-hour, 24/7 supporting the illusion. The illusion supports the illusion. So in a way, this communication, which in that sense is rare, is a response to the illusion, and it is, in some way, an attempt, let's say, to withdraw support for the illusion, or at least to provide something that isn't supporting the illusion, and maybe is undermining that in some way. Just to speak very generally about what this is. So, let me say the central thing about it is that, or the central message is that this is nothing. There's nothing. Everything is nothing, appearing. And the reason that's important is because, again, the assumption and the communication from every corner of the world is that it's something. And that is the central illusion. That's the experience of me. You can say that's the mistake in a way. That's what's missed or misinterpreted, misperceived. In this illusion, in this experience of me, what it's getting wrong, essentially, is that it's mistaking nothing for being something. And there isn't any something. Again, that's the basic communication. It's the essence of it. And of course, that's hard to get. It's hard to understand how that could make sense. How could everything be nothing? Or how could anything be nothing? And how could that be worth talking about? How could it make any sense But again, the mistake is that the mistake for me, if I'm having this me experience, is that I'm taking it to be something. And so again, the distinction between something and nothing is like the fine point. That's where the message is. So what does that mean? What does it mean that everything is nothing? Or let's say that everything that the me takes to be something is really nothing. And that mistake, the misinterpretation, is the downfall of me. That's my suffering. That's the illusion. And me is an illusion, and it's an illusion of suffering. And if there's one being spoken to here, it's the one who's suffering that illusion. That's what makes this an interesting video or interesting communication. Or this might not be so interesting, this particular video. But in general, the message is interesting to the one who's suffering. Now, there isn't anyone who's suffering because there's only nothing. There isn't, and again, okay, well, I was just talking about why is this important. There's only nothing means there isn't a me, there isn't a one who's suffering. That, again, is the illusion. It's taking me to be something real, something who is me. I'm something. But I'm trying to sort of talk about what is this nothing and why is it, what's the distinction? What's so important about nothing? And what's so important about seeing that something is suffering, is a mistake? This idea of something. Again, that is the idea. That is the illusion of me, is this illusion of something. That the world is something, that this appearance right here is something, that I'm something. And that's not true. That's a mistake. There's only nothing. So again, I'm trying to talk about the difference. Because these words get very, vague. It's easy to talk about nothing and something, and who knows what the hell it means, right? And essentially it doesn't really mean anything because they are just words. And that's the problem. So what does it mean beyond just using, two words? Because you can understand the words and you don't get the point. That's what I'm kind of trying to get into here. Okay. So what the real import of this message of nothing and something? Because again, it's not, in a way there isn't really a difference. I mean, something and nothing, they're words, and it's, in one way, there isn't anything to this. It's a word game in one way. So I'm trying to get at, like, what's the meaningful part of it? Why is it important? The reason it's important is because the me experience is based on this idea of something. The me is constantly searching my experience for something. Again, it's a search. The me is needy. The me is seeking what I need. That's the experience of me, the activity. constantly. I'm saying that is the me. So I'm saying you can throw out everything else you know about me. It's not important. It's completely irrelevant. The only thing that's important about me, the only thing that is me, is this search, this activity of searching my experience, searching every corner of my experience for what I need, what I'm missing, what I'm lacking, which is release from my condition. I mean, it's, described in all kinds of ways. Fulfillment, getting home, realizing God, realizing myself, realizing my fullness, my fulfillment, getting away from my suffering, getting free, breaking out of my cage. All these metaphorical, all these sentences or phrases. But it's just that seeking for that change in my experience that will make it all okay, because it's not okay for the me. So again, me is not okay. Not okay because I'm seeking constantly for what I'm missing, what I don't have. What I have is not enough. What I have is not complete. It's separate. That's me. I mean, I'm belaboring the point, going on a little bit too much here, but it's important. It's the whole thing. So, me, this me experience is that's what's up here. That's what life is about. So the message is, that's not what's happening. All of that search is a search for something. So the me experience is completely, let's say, reduced or equated the world with something. In other words, the me experiences the world as something. The me experience is that I'm something and my world is something. And I'm missing something and I'm seeking something. A thing. So that's the point about nothing and something. So the answer to that, the response to that, is this message, which is, you're not going to find something, there isn't something. There is this here already, which is the nothing that there is. That whole search is just an imaginary production. It's an imaginary movie, imaginary journey to get what there isn't. So it's a imagination of this world of something. So it imagines that I'm something, and then it imagines that I need to get something else. So I need to add something to me. And that the imagination is that something is in the world, in my experience, in my future. It's somehow available to be taken in. Somehow out here, in my experience, in my future, in time. And that I can get it. That I have to get it. And that my entire existence, every day, my story, every minute, every moment, is this playing out of this movie of getting the something that I'm missing. Missing something and getting it, hoping to get it, trying to get it, working to get it. So the message is that whole thing isn't true. There is no one. There's no way to do anything, to search for anything, to get anything. The whole thing is just an illusion. It's just a story. And the whole time there's just this, which isn't a something. So the whole story of something is an illusion. It doesn't apply to anything. It certainly doesn't apply to you, because you aren't an illusion. The me is an illusion, the me that appears and feels like it's me. That's that illusion. So this communication is responding to that. And in a way you could say, attempting to talk in a way that doesn't give support to that illusion and maybe undermines it, removes the support, could just say. And again, it's not a communication of information. There's no solution being provided. There's no teaching being provided. There's no suggestion of anything to do, because the whole point is that there isn't anyone. The whole dream of someone is that dream of something. It's all the same dream. So that's what we're doing here. That's non-duality. That's this so-called message and the so-called communication. So that's it.